It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Sainz, Antonelli, Albon and Isaac Hadjar, Gasly, Ocon, Liam Lawson and Behrman, Colapinto, Alonso, Gabriel Bortoleto and Nico Hülkenberg, Lindblad, Mini, Stroll, Perez, Bottas and Joshua Dirksen completes the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me in the commentary box, my old friend, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Here we go then. The formation lap is underway ahead of today's sprint. We're almost ready to start the sprint as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
overtake mode active, overtake active. You've got more power now from the hybrid system. Use boost on the next long straight to get past. Okay, overtake enabled. Okay mate, so just a quick reminder, you'll get access to the extra power when you're within a second of the car ahead with overtake mode. With the new power units this year, you'll want to lift and coast more than you might have done before. And sometimes the fastest way around a track is not always going full throttle. Combine lift and coast into braking with boosting out of corners and see how you get on. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
It's time again then for Formula One in Shanghai. Northwest of the thriving city of over 24 million people is a circuit that first featured in the championship calendar back in 2004. It played host to Formula One's 1000th Grand Prix back in 2019. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Piastri, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Antonelli, Albon, Verstappen, Sainz, and Fernando Alonso, Hadjar, Behrman, Franco Colapinto, and Lawson, Hülkenberg, Stroll, Sergio Perez, and Gabriele Mini, Ocon, Dirksen, Gasly, Bortoletto, Bottas, and Arvid Lindblad rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Right then, the formation lap has started, and I must say the weather conditions aren't the best today for visibility and for grip. As each driver performs this lap, they'll be wanting to settle in and concentrate, as this race, in these conditions, will require a lot of focus. So as all the cars reform the grid, the drivers will be hoping to get a strong start. They'll want to earn some valuable points from today's race, with final communications being done with their race engineers, ensuring the planned strategies are all in place.
Okay, so with the new power units, make sure you're lifting and coasting before corners, and consider not always going full throttle. Try combining lift and coast into braking with boost out of corners and see if you can find a good balance. Okay, and that's a red flag. Red flag. Keep the delta positive, and let's have you straight into the pit lane, please. Right, if we play this right, we can get a nice advantage here. Let's have a think about how we handle the rest of this race. Away in just a moment. Stand by. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 3.2 seconds. The track is clear, green flag. situation's an interesting one, but I think the right call is to stick with what we've got for now. Gap to your teammate behind, 8.1 seconds. Okay, I think the track's going to be drying out quite soon. Be careful you don't burn out your tyres. Okay, clear. VSC deployed. The virtual safety car has been deployed. We need to keep a positive delta here. Slow down and maintain a positive delta. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until we get the green flags. VSC ending. Wait for the greens. Tyre condition still looking good. weather's turning. We think it's time to box now. Copy. Okay, so overtake is active. Overtake mode active. You're going to get more power from the hybrid system. You know how it works. Just use boost on the next long straight to get your way past. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 10.9 seconds. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Here's the checkered flag, and our winner has landed. It's Lando Norris for victory.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
Well, it's been a long wait for many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. He raises the trophy over his head. Lando Norris, head and shoulders above the rest today. The weekend of motorsport action, but with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.